Amit, today we're going to be going over my top three Airbnb buildings coming to Miami. So the top three pre-construction buildings that are on their way in the funnel, going to be constructed, and they're all very different. So we're going to just talk a little bit about it, some questions that you're probably going to have, and then look at some renderings for each of the building. So three different areas, three totally different projects. And yeah, so let's start. First project that we're going to be talking about is called Aura, and it's by Casa Tua. And Amit, have you ever been to Casa Tua in Brickell?
Yes, I have. And so I know what it is, but could you share with others that don't know about it?
So Casa Tua is an Italian restaurant that first actually was on Miami Beach. It still is there. It's a very high-end restaurant, the one in Miami Beach. It has this romantic Italian feel to it. It also has a club upstairs, members club. And it's a nice fancy place to go to dinner and hang out. And it's in South Beach. Then what happened is after Brickell City Center opened, when was that? 2016, I think. They put a Casa Tua Cucina in Brickell City Center, which is more like an Italy style restaurant where you go and it used to be you go and you order your food and then you stand up and you order it and then they bring it to you. But now it's more of a regular restaurant, but you're sharing tables with people. It's more of a business casual take on Casa Tua. It's the same food, same owners, same feel, just different location and a little bit more reasonable prices. What I think is really interesting about this project is that I think we've actually talked about this before. There are a lot of buildings, and the other two that we'll talk about are a different product that allow short-term rentals. Right now, a lot of buildings are being built for it, but not a lot that are high-end short-term rentals. So you get these buildings, hey, you can spend 400 grand, get a studio. But at the end of the day, the consumer, the renter is going to pay a price for that. And then you're missing this market in the middle or above that, not in the middle, where they would pay more for a nicer building, a branded building, because Miami's big on branded buildings, and be able to stay there short term. And that's what this is.
So with that said, tell me a bit about the building.
So it's going to be in Brickell, obviously, right? And it is going to be architectonica. So it's kind of same feel as the luxury condos like One Paraiso or any of the new buildings coming up like Casabella and all that stuff, except you can just have the daily rental thing. So it's going to be 76 stories. I just feel like these buildings keep getting higher
Wow.
and higher and higher. And what they're trying to do is have an Italian design inspired building with the charm of Casa Tua, but have it also be able to rent short term. So it's different. It's definitely a different project than the typical, hey, we're just gonna do an Airbnb building, a short term rental building.
Right. So very high-end hotel in a great location. For those people that don't know where Brickell is, can you share with us a bit about that?
So you have Coral Gables, Coconut Grove. Above that, you have Brickell. Above that, a little bit north, you have downtown. And then above that, you have where I am, which is Edgewater. So Brickell is a financial center of Miami. And it's one of the most walkable areas here. A lot of people will call us and say, hey, I'm moving to Miami. I'm from New York. And the first question is, okay, do you want a similar feel to New York or do you want to have a Miami feel? And if they want a walkable place, a lot of times they're going to go to Brickell because it's, in my opinion, the most walkable area.
And who would be living in Brickell right now?
It's definitely a professional place. A lot of my young professionals, like my friends and stuff like that, will live in Brickell if they work in finance or if a lot of them work from home and they just want to be able to walk to things. It's a young area or even young families. It's a professional area. It's clean. It's cleaner than Edgewater, which is where I live, but that's also part of the Edgewater deal. Everything has its trade-offs, right? But it's definitely young, professional, fun, vibrant. It's a city in Miami.
I know price points change all the time, but today, April 13th, 2023, what are the going rates for those? What do they start at?
Right now, they are starting in the 800s. And it's a 500 square foot studio. And then it goes up to 2.5 million.
Okay.
which is obviously a bigger floor plan. So the studios start right now today at 859,000. They're 500 square feet. And the 4 bedrooms go studios, 1 bedrooms, 2, 3, and 4. And the 4 beds are 3.2 million.
Okay, so high end, but also people can be able to afford to get in there at a lower price point.
Exactly. It's funny because remember when Aston Martin launched and the studios were like 700 something, right? Now I get in there. So anyway, that's why people buy pre-construction and branded pre-construction too.
Totally.
So the building makeup is interesting because you know how most buildings, they have different floor plans on different floors. This doesn't. So the way they laid out the building is that you have parking, and then above that you have the studios, 1 bedrooms and 2 bedrooms, and then above that you have a sky park, and then above that you have the 2, 3, and 4 bedrooms. Isn't that interesting? Like normally they mix it.
It's like you're in an airplane and it's the reverse of first class, right? The further you go, the more expensive it is.
More expensive it gets. Yep, exactly.
Yeah, but that makes sense, right? If you're paying 3 million or 2.5, you want to be in a higher floor than someone. What are the things that you really like about this building?
I think that in order to really understand why it's going to be a great building, you need to go to Casa Tua. Because if you can take that and embody it in a building, you understand that it's going to be a beautiful place, right? I really like the brand. I'm a fan of branded buildings. I also think it's something different for a restaurant. So essentially above the parking garage, levels 12 to 42, you have those studios, 1 and 2 bedrooms. And then you have what they call the bosco, which I guess means forest in Italian. And that's another amenity level. And it looks like a building I would live in if you see it, because it has this little like running path around it. And I obviously love that. And then above the 42nd floor, so from 43 to 76, are the bigger units.
Yeah, so for people that don't know, Jade is fluent in more than 1 language. She speaks Spanish. But you probably could understand, because I can understand some Italian when I went to Italy, because it's very similar to Spanish, right?
Yeah, exactly. So on that floor, they're going to have a fitness path, so like a running path, which is great for me. Not that I'm there yet. A meditation center, an entertainment area, a sculpture garden. Like it's kind of like a central park, but in your building, right? And then you are going to have, so there's three different amenity floors. The 9th floor, which is like your standard pool, blah, blah, blah. Then you're going to have the bosco. I like that they gave names to it. And then on the top, you're going to have the vento, which I think that means wind in Italian. I'm not sure. Would make sense. But you're going to have a 2-story rooftop, and you're going to have a sky lounge and a bar, private dining room, entertainment stage for live performances. You're going to have a fire pit up there, which I don't know how they got that approved, but also going to have a dine-in delivery to every door. So similar to Echo and Brickell, where you can order food from a restaurant and they can bring from the restaurant there, they can bring it to your door.
It's almost like you don't need to leave the building.
Yeah, you don't. Why would you?
Is it too early to have any renderings of the property?
No, we actually do have renderings. Do you see it?
Yeah, see it now. That's pretty cool.
Look at those renderings. That is stunning. Look at the bar here.
Yeah, and then if you look to the right, just that water view and how that infinity type pool, it's amazing.
And then, so here's what I was talking about with the building. So down here, parking, right? Then you have amenity level here. That's 9th floor. Or yeah, the 9th floor. These are the amenities there. Then you have this, which are the smaller units, the bosque.
It almost looks like wind is blowing the building.
Yeah, it has a similar feel of Echo, right?
Yeah.
The renderings are beautiful.
Yeah, totally top notch, first class. And Airbnb-able, which is.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Is just so crazy. Look at look, we can play Can you see it moving?
Yeah, I can.
At the top, do you see that?
Oh yeah, yeah. I didn't
So,
notice it
because
until
in
you.
Miami, it rains all the time. So that's super convenient to have in case.
And the humidity, right? If it's in the summer, it would suck, but in the winter, it's awesome.
Yep.
So, with that said, since they are Airbnbables, I would assume that the person, if it's a bigger one, maybe 2 or 3 or 4 bedrooms, person would probably rent it for longer than a few days, probably a
It
week
gives
or.
you flexibility, right? So you can do it daily if you want. If there's a big event, Ultra or Formula One, this would be a crazy building to stay at in Formula One. And I'm sure you pay a lot of money for it, right? Something like that, you can. You don't have to do it short term. You don't even have to rent it if you don't want to.
What hotel would you say would be similar to this building?
I feel like this is very,
Is it the Ritz, or is that too?
no, it's not the Ritz. There's a line of hotels called Banyan Tree. I'm not just saying that because the rendering in front of me has a tree. But Banyan Tree, Rosewood, it has, but more Banyan Tree because it has this like environmental, like an environment feel coming into like you feel like you're outside, inside. There's a lot of woods and a lot of like greenery and things like that. So I would say that a little bit of the addition, if anyone has stayed there. But yeah, I would say very similar to the Banyan Tree feel. That was the lobby entrance. This is the restaurant outside. These are fake people. This is the rooftop with the bar and everything. I love when they do the rooftop pools because in Miami, a lot of the buildings block the sun. So
Right.
you always have sun up there.
Nice.
And
Okay.
yeah.
Before we get to the next one, is there anything else you want to share with this about this?
Let me just pull this up quick.
Okay.
The developer is Fortune. Okay, that's what I was like. I have a feeling that it is. So Fortune, who did the Ritz and Sunny Isles and stuff like that, they're doing it. They're the developer. Ultimately, it's going to be for people who have good taste. Now, I think that this building is going to be one of the nicest buildings to come to Brickell, regardless of it being able to Airbnb or not. I do think so. It's just nice to have the option. I don't think my prediction would probably be that people will rent them out when they're not there, but it's more going to be like a second home because of the level of building.
For this property, when do you think it's going to be built?
You're saying 2026. Location is 10 Brickell. If Brickell, it's 12th and Brickell Avenue.
Okay, cool. So not too far from Brickell City Center,
right.
And all this stuff that's west in Brickell that was built not that long ago. What typically does someone that's buying new construction need to know that they don't know as far as when they're buying it?
Yeah, the first thing is to send us a message. You can either send me a message on Instagram at Jade Kalbacher, we'll put it below, or an email, jade.kalbacher@compass.com. But I think one of the things that people don't realize a lot, especially if they're international buyers, is that there's a payment structure. It is not all at once. It's not before the building is built, as the building is built. So this payment plan for Aura is 20% at contract, 10% at groundbreaking, and 10% at top off. That's only 40%. Typically, it's a 50% payment plan. So that's also a plus. And then the 60% at closing that you can either finance or pay cash.
So a couple things with that. So if someone is financing that, even though they're putting 40%, if they want to finance with 20%, they may be able to get a lender that'll kick them back that 20% that they
100%.
put.
Yeah, you can do that. You can totally do that. So what would happen is you would lay out the 40%, and then at closing, you would get the surplus. You would get the 20% back credited to.
Okay. Also, as far as timeline, and I know it varies on builders and buildings and the project, but okay, so you said 20% at contract. Is that what you said?
20% at contract. Yep.
And then you said when they start building, is that what you said?
10% at groundbreaking.
And how long different time period is that typically?
Depends what they have to do to the ground, if it's cleared and stuff like that. But it's typically, I would say 6 months. They might tell you less, but it's typically 6 months.
Okay. And then, so top off, obviously it depends on the size of the building, right?
And how
And
fast.
76 stories would probably be
I would say
a
you're
decent
probably
time.
looking at the end of 2024 for that, maybe early 2025.
Okay. So that gives people an idea. Okay. So on to number 2.
The second one that we're doing is called 600 Miami World Center. So now we're going a little bit north. We're going to Miami World Center, which I am just such a big fan of. So Miami World Center is one of the largest urban developments in the United States, and it's a $4 billion project. 10 city blocks and 27 acres. 27 is also my favorite number, so that's why I like it. The reason why I like this building, 600 Miami World Center, is by Aria. So Aria was the developer that did Yotel Pad. That was their first development that they did here in Miami. They did a really good job. Everything, they were a little bit delayed because of like the whole COVID thing, but what they promised in terms of finishes, in terms of furniture, in terms of the actual product of the build, whoever their GC was, whoever they subcontracted, did an amazing job. It is not, I think their finishes in the $400,000 units are nicer than the original finishes that come in one Paraiso, which are like at least $1 million. So I am a huge fan of that developer. They also, like for instance, the furniture packages that they offered in Yotel, they got Italian furniture, not like cheap. It's real quality stuff. And so that developer has launched obviously 501 First, which is sold out, but has also launched 600 Miami World Center. Difference between the two is location. 600 Miami World Center is actually part of World Center. So if you drive by, and I was driving by the other day, you see that actually walking. I was wrong. Sephora and Lululemon are now open in Miami World Center. So the first 2 stores to open. So it's really coming together so much from an idea to actual execution. I think that's going to be the epicenter of Miami within the next 5 years. This is a master plan for a city, right? So this is, as I mentioned, Aria development. I think they're doing it in combination with Merrimack. I don't know who that is, to be perfectly honest, but maybe they're doing the financing. Same thing, Airbnb building, and the prices here are really good. So that's the other thing. They start in the 400,000.
Oh, wow.
Yeah. And you can pretty much be assured that it's quality product because they just did Yotel and it was the same thing.
So what type of views would someone expect?
It depends where you are in the building. Some of it is like a city view. Some of it actually looks at the water, just depending on where you are going to be located in the building and which unit and all of that stuff. I'm trying to see if I have a picture of the view. I do somewhere. So I was looking at it before. I'll hold that thought and I will show you when I share the screen.
Okay.
So the building, just to give you a little overview of the building, it's 32 stories, so not a huge building. 32 is still a big building, but now we're talking about one that is, right? So 32 stories. Right now, they're in reservations. They just launched a couple months ago. Yeah, like December. Yeah, a couple months ago. It's 579 residences and 32 stories. It's right by the Bright Line, if you know that, and the units come fully furnished. And I would guess they're probably using the same package as they did for Yotel, which I can tell you is great. It's going to be studios, junior 1 bedrooms, 1 bedroom plus den, and 2 bedrooms. So those are the makeup. They're not huge units. The studios start at 400 square feet and the 2 bedrooms are 830. This is really like an investment product as opposed to Aura, which is more of you're living there.
And just to touch on the Bright Line thing, it's right by this basically a high-end train station that by the end of the year or maybe next year will go to Orlando, West Palm Beach, Fort Lauderdale, Aventura, just the airport. So much flexibility with that. So it's pretty cool.
So I'm going to show you. I'm going to go back to share my screen. There we go. You see? No, I think clicking it once always does it. It's not.
Yeah, I'm seeing it.
Yeah. Okay. So this is the design agency that's doing it. It's called the design agency. So everything comes built out and done. So a lot of developments doesn't come out that way. But so this is like the living room, kitchen area, like you can see. And they actually do this, which is crazy. Like they do this lighting underneath instead of just showing it and then not delivering. And see, look at the view here. So this water, you see the city, you see this is Paramount World Center right here. So you get a little bit of the city, a little bit of the water, depending on which unit you have. This is one that it's a bigger unit, has a master bedroom overlooking, this is all Miami Beach, and this is the causeway get there. This is a building called Elser, which is also a short-term rental building, but the prices are too high in my opinion. I'm just being honest. They start at 700,000. Anyway, this is the master bathroom here. And this is exactly what they look like because he did the same thing with the hotel. So really like quality stuff, like the porcelain floors and stuff like that.
Yeah.
For not a crazy price. So this is the makeup, each floor, how many units on each floor. There are a lot of units on the floors, 8 studios, 2 junior 1 bedrooms, 2 1 beds, 8 1 bed plus den, which is interesting that they did that probably for people working from home. And then 3 2 bedrooms per floor.
Yeah, it's nice. So totally different than the last one, where the last one, the people are gonna use it as a vacation spot and rent it out. This is strictly investment, like you said.
Yeah. So
for the most part.
This is Aria Development Group. I was actually mistaken. And you know what? I've been to this building, 321 Ocean, and it's beautiful.
Oh, it is, yeah.
Hotel wasn't their first project. This was 321 Ocean. I don't even know that, but that makes sense. Look at these guys. Are they going to screw you over? I don't think so. Yeah. And I guess this is who Merrimack Ventures.
Right. These are the Indian people that I was telling. Yeah.
Okay. Okay, great. So one other thing that I wanted to point out is up here, it had this was Miami World Center. So like, this is what it's going to look like, which is it's all walking
beautiful.
down. I mean, it's just going to be great. And they already started, you can start to see this structure because it's almost finished, but this stuff isn't in yet, but the actual structure is. So this is just a couple blocks behind Biscayne, right? The Sephora is open, as I was mentioning.
Right.
I don't know what a blue center zone is, but oh, there we go. It's a building space that allows you to live longer and happier. Okay, there we go. You're right by the Perez. Oh, wow.
They've updated the name even in the prop box. That's pretty cool.
Yeah. And then this is cool because I'm going to be able to run here. You can run underneath the new highway.
How far is this from Edgewater and Brickell?
A mile and a half.
Oh, so really close.
Yeah. So let's talk about prices quickly because I actually have up before we go to the last pick. And I actually went, you know how we were supposed to do it from highest to lowest? This one is actually lower than the next one.
Okay.
I mixed that up. So we threw a curveball for you. So right now, April 13th, the least expensive studio is $432,000. That's 402 square feet. Oh, and they all have terraces. There was, what's that building, District 225 that they did without terraces, which I think is wacky. Right. But yeah, so they all have terraces, which is nice. So cheapest studio today is 432,000, and the cheapest or best priced junior 1 bedroom, which is 538 square feet, is 579,000. Oh, excuse me, 534,000. And so studio 432. Junior 1 bedroom, 534, 1 bedroom, 592, 1 bed plus den, and 2 baths. That best price is 607. And the best price 2 bedroom is just under 800. So you see how the product is totally different. And this, you're getting a 2 bedroom at 794, and in Aura Casa Chua, that's a studio. So it really depends what your goal is, if it's just a pure investment or if it is something you're going to live in as well.
So if it was just a pure investment, which do you think would be the best of the 3? This one?
I have a soft spot for Edgewater, as I think it would be between the last 2 for me.
Okay.
The reason why I like 600 Miami World Center is because it has 1 bedrooms, it has different layouts. Vita, I love the location. I love that Kobe Karp is doing the interiors, but they only had 2 bedrooms in the whole building, 2 1 bedrooms, excuse me, and they're gone. It's, you either get a studio or a 2 bedroom at Vita. There's nothing in the middle. So if you want a 1 bedroom, a junior 1 bedroom, obviously 600 Miami World Center has more options. I also love, if it were me and I needed a 1 bedroom, that's where I would go. If I just wanted just to get whatever I could, I'd probably do Vita, just because I like the location. And I think that area has a ton of potential as well.
And I guess what we're not mentioning is we look at the ROI on the short term, but I think where most people are going to get a lot of the ROIs on the sale end of it, right?
Oh, 100%, 100%. I was actually speaking to someone in Chile today, and he said, "Oh, I really want something that's going to appreciate within the next 5 to 10 years." And I said, "Can you do pre-construction? Because if you can have your money, if you have the funds and it doesn't matter, right? Then do it, because from the beginning to the sellout is such an increase. And then people pay a premium to walk into the door, to walk in when it's turnkey, when it's there, and they want to be in the newest building. It's Miami. Who doesn't?
Right. Totally.
Now everyone's like, oh, the Aston Martin building. I'm like, yeah, that's been building for a while. And they're like, because now it's all shiny and stuff. And now everyone's gonna live there. How much are they sold out? You didn't have the foresight.
Right.
So it's pretty funny that happens. For our last one, we're gonna go to Vita, which I really like this. I really like Vita because for a couple of reasons. First, oh, I didn't say, for the completion date of 600 Miami World Center. It's
2026. Okay.
Now, the other reason I like Vita is because it's going to be complete in 2024.
Oh, nice.
Because it's not a big building. It's only 9 stories. So,
oh, that's it. Okay.
Yeah, it's not a huge building, and it's in an area that we know, aside from just renting out short term because you're by the design district, Wynwood and all that stuff, is an area that just has crazy potential in Edgewater. So Vita is 9 stories and 121 residences. That's it. You have Urbana Holdings is the developer, and the architect is Kobe Karp, who usually does like the big sexy houses here, right? Interior design is Euro Design Group, and their design is really nice. For the prices, the design is, you're getting a deal. Okay, let me pull up. So it's in Edgewater, as we know. It is just a couple streets from my house, so you can come and say hello. And it's going to be done in 2024. The residences are the 1-bedroom sold out. So studio, 2, 3, and 4 bedrooms, 9-foot ceilings. They come fully furnished and finished. They're smart homes. They have washer dryers, vanities, rain showers, and European style appliances. The studios are 387 square feet. The 1-bedroom, I'm going to skip because they're sold out. The 2 bedrooms, 774 square feet to 850 square feet. 3 beds, 1,700, and 4 beds, 1,780.
Wow. So even 4 bedrooms they have.
Yep. The cool thing about this, and the only reason I know this is because I sold a unit there, is that it will pay you 5% on your deposits. So instead of just having the money sitting there and doing nothing, you're getting 5% interest a year, and it gets credited to you at closing, which is
wow, way better than
nice.
the bank.
Yeah, better than the 0.00001%. So I mean that's nice. Who doesn't want a deal? Everyone does.
Especially while the prices are appreciating as well, because you're in an early phase and then later it's going to go up.
Exactly. So I want to go to the renderings. You're here in Edgewater, 12 minutes from the airport, which I love to say that little fact. And you're right by the design district. You can walk to Midtown. It's really centrally located. Becoming more walkable, not as walkable as Brickell, but becoming more walkable. So I am going
and some great restaurants too.
Yeah. Okay, I am going to share my screen. So this is what it's going to look like.
It's pretty cool.
Yeah. I love this like wood paneling that they did
right
here. This, I don't know if I'm allowed to say, but I'm going to say it because YOLO. They're actually planning a Vita Residences too right here with the girls' lane.
Oh, nice. And you got a Lamborghini there.
Yep,
That's
that
nice.
comes with their residence. This is the gym rendering. They did a really, you could tell it doesn't look like the standard Miami.
It's quality, yeah.
So look, this is me. I'm probably like right up there right now. And this is 36th Street. This is Biscayne. And this is where it's going to be.
Wow. And it's like you said, a lot of times with the real estate, you have to have the foresight when you go someplace, it's going to look like a transitional area. And if it doesn't look transitional, you're going to pay all the money, and there's not going to be any, there's going to be no juice to squeeze later. And I remember you, one of the smartest things I think you did in your career is you rented a place that was like a dream place for many people. Super high floor, great views. And in the beginning of your career, it may have been a little bit difficult to afford it, but you had the foresight to see it. And because of that, obviously a lot of business, you know the area better than pretty much anyone. And people in the beginning may have been scared to go there at night, right? And
Oh
now
yeah,
it's
I got my car sold
tremendously.
11 years ago here. Yeah. Mhm.
So yeah, having, as investors, you have to see that.
Yeah, this whole area is just great in my opinion. So this is an old building called the Charter Club. This is blue. This is a rental building that was converted called the Hamilton, and this is the district. They're going to be putting buildings here too as well. Close the Wendy's over here. All of this is going to become really beautiful real estate because look at the view. So anyway, this is the building. You can see a lot of this is similar, not to 600, but to Aura, in that they're doing like the whole indoor outdoor living thing.
Wow, it's really
Yeah.
nice, especially for the price points that you
I
gave.
know, really, that I was impressed when I saw this. I said, wow. And at that starting price, this is the pool.
It's nice.
Roof on the 9th floor or 10th floor. Spa, workspace. I want to show you quick the actual units because they're beautiful. I mean, look at that.
Wow.
Like the style is just.
That's a studio, or what is that?
Yeah, this is the studio.
Okay, cool. Wow, for a studio, that's incredible.
And look at these prices. So this is live from obviously my computer. Look at the studio 2-bedroom price. They're in the 400s. They are, what's the best price one on here? I'm at $491. So for under 500,000.
Yeah, that's incredible.
That looks like a $10 million house.
Yeah, it looks amazing.
Like that, I would stay in that hotel. That's beautiful.
And you'd expect to pay a lot too.
Exactly. Let's see. Like I love this little. They have this little cove here to work, or
right.
Most people would probably eat. I would probably work.
Right.
Just the detail is so nice. I really love the detail on this one. It's not bullshit. I really do.
I noticed that with all the properties that all the projects that you shared, the buildings, they're all like this, right? Yeah. They're all, no matter what the price point.
But you want something that's going to hold value. And especially if you have people in and out, you need the stuff to be quality. If not, it's going to get ruined. Look at this backsplash here. Like, you can do that in one. And for that price point, they're coming fully finished. Like they come
the last one was furnished, the World Center one.
Yes.
This one obviously isn't, right? Because the price points are pretty low.
No, it is.
Oh, it is?
Yes.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
So all that furniture that you see, that's coming.
Yes. Isn't that cool?
So turnkey, you got to do nothing.
Look at this. This looks like a house on Sunset Island.
A $10-20 million property, just
like a
larger.
$500,000 unit. Like I that's why I really like this project. That, and it's in Edgewater.
Yeah, I think that's your next investment, Jade.
I can't stop smiling, so I think so too. Look at that. That doesn't look like a fire. That's, come on. Look at this. They even have a little thing for the.
Yep, it's beautiful.
Look at the closets.
Yeah.
It's really beautiful. Come on. That's ridiculous. Now we're just getting cocky. No. But yeah, so the renderings are beautiful. I think it's going to be a really nice project. I also know that it's the developer's first building here. And typically when they do that in Miami, they build a great building because they want to make a name for themselves.
Totally. And this one is 2024, you said? It's done?
Next year. And next year.
Wow.
This is the lobby.
Have they started building already?
No. but it's whatever it is. They're doing something. Maybe the pilings. That's the longest part.
Okay.
This is the lobby. This looks
Wow, that's
it's
amazing. It's beautiful.
restaurant downstairs. So let's go to the price list for a second. For the, let's see. Yeah. So for the studios, you have in the high 400s, right? Then you have, these are all, if they're bigger, you get into the fives. For the 2 bedrooms, you have them, this looks like the best price 2 bedroom at just under 900. Oh no, this one. Yeah, 884. Oh, we got lower here, 865. So I guess it just depends what floor you're on. And then let's see the 3 beds. 3 beds are, that's probably the tub, right? The 1.3, and then 4 beds at 1.9.
Yeah, it seems like a great deal. And obviously these prices won't last too long.
No, I think that this building, my honest opinion of it is that it's a great building. Hold on one second. Sorry. So my honest opinion is that it's a great building, and they just don't, the developer is very busy, and they're also doing the sales themselves, like they're the in-house. And even though the product's great, I just don't think they're spending a lot of time on marketing it and stuff when they should be, because it's an
So there's opportunity.
Miami World Center, you see all over the place because it's a big team behind it. But it's different, which I like, and I think that's the angle. That's why it's not sold out yet. It will be, but not yet.
So does that one have parking or no parking?
There is parking, valet parking. Yes. Yeah. Fully furnished,
cool.
10-foot ceilings, valet parking. Yep.
Nice.
Yeah, that is Vita. So what do you think? What do you like? What do you not like? Before I go off to Giraffe.
Thank you for that. I like the last one the most. I think you get the biggest bang for your buck. I see, like you were mentioning about Edgewater, because it's not fully, if someone doesn't know Edgewater, it's a place, Edgewater is like Wynwood, in my opinion. If someone doesn't live in Miami and they say, hey, where should I check out? These would be the areas, right?
Yeah.
These are the areas that locals know that others don't know, where we see opportunity. And if I'm not mistaken, you had a celebrity DJ that you rented out as property, similar, close to there?
Right next door to me. Yeah.
Okay. So even if people can afford wherever, anywhere, they're buying in these transitional areas where
they know that it's gonna, anyone who's pretty smart will know that it's trending upward, right? If you compare Vita's prices to the stuff like Edition Residences, which is coming, they start at 1.8 million. That's coming to Edgewater, which we'll do a different video on. But if that's what's surrounding you, right? It's kind of like the people you hang out with. So if you hang out with all great people, you're going to be great. If you hang out with bad people, you're going to become bad. If the buildings next to you are getting nice, you're going to be a nice building. And you want to be the lowest price in that area, right? You want to be in the best area at the lowest price. At least that's the way I see it. So I agree with you. I think they're all great projects, different. They're very different. I think people who know Miami World Center will really resonate with that project and say, oh yeah, Miami World Center, they're doing this, that. People who want a really nice place for them that they can also rent out when they're not there, not even to cover costs, but just to maybe just they have family or something like that, or friends that can come use it. They'll probably do Aura, or if they know the Casa Tua brand, maybe they're members or something like that. And then I think people who believe in Edgewater in that area will do Vita, and who could see an opportunity before everyone does.
Yeah, and the last thing I have to say is these buildings are incredible. And obviously the huge plus is that you can rent them out, and some of them are furnished. Like, those are like mind-blowing that you're getting those things, because they would be great purchases without those things.
Exactly, without the furniture. It just makes it so much easier.
Yeah, and so before we wrap up, any last things?
No, I think that's it. If you guys are interested, you can just We'll put the contact info below this video. Just shoot us a message and we'll get you into one of these buildings.
And if they don't like any of these, which they would be crazy not to, what else do you sell?
No, then you're going to have to watch our next video on other pre-construction buildings coming to Miami.
Right, because Jade and the team, we also sell resales.
Yeah, we
also do rentals.
It's not just pre-construction, but yeah, anything in Miami, we're here.
And not even just Miami, right? If someone is looking for even Australia, wherever, you can hook them up.
Yeah, we have agents everywhere. So wherever you want, we got it.
Awesome. Thanks, Jade. Appreciate it.
Bye.
All right. See you guys.